Bedingfield, Unwritten on BBC Radio London. It's 4:41, that time of the show. I'm looking at a team. We're going to get some kind of ident for James, aren't we? Ready, tech, go. They've said yes. So, which is, oh, I love it. Sounds like, shit, I'll make it myself if I have to. In the meantime, he has to deal with me introducing him, which is also a lot of fun as well. Ready, tech, go with James Erskine, founder of Rocket. It's great to have you on the show. James, how are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Now, before I realise every time you come in the show, we never quite talk about your company, Rocket. That's why usually I give like a spiel. But I thought, let me first explain for our listeners what it is that you do, because you are a full tech expert yourself. You deal with technology on a daily basis.
Well, it's kind of ended up that way because of the amount of social media that we deal with on a daily basis.
Yes.
So Rocket are a marketing and content business that make lots of stuff for social media on behalf of brands and organisations. And we specialise in youth and family audiences. So we're very up to date on what's compliance, what's within the rules, and the latest developments in social media. And before that, I had a social media consultancy as well. So I'm well versed in that world of tech and social media.
That's why I call you our tech expert on the show, because you know all of it. And but today, as you know, I've been talking a lot about technology, deep fake, AI. So before, because I know you've got such an array, and I always love the stories you bring in, but I just wanted your thoughts on all of these, because you and I spoke, I remember when Sunny and I were doing the late nights, just as ChatGPT was emerging and kind of the excitement around it. But it feels like now everyone is being a bit cautious around AI.
I think that happens with every development. So I think you're right. There's a lot of people looking at ways to switch off from digital things, digital alternatives. People are looking at digital detoxes. People are looking at time away from social media. And we're having to learn something quite new. And that is that I heard your interview earlier, we, the users, are the ones that have to be wary and have to be aware of these things. So if it is scams on social media, if it is deep fakes, if it is AI generated stories and AI generated visuals, it has to be us as users that recognize them, because nobody's looking out for us anymore. In the days when it was broadcast TV and broadcast radio, you had people that could monitor that stuff, whereas nobody can monitor all of the internet and all of technology.
It's kind of like, you know, you've opened Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Completely.
But at the same time, it is a cautionary tale. It's also important to, I don't know if celebrate's the right word, but acknowledge the advancements that have come about because of AI.
Hugely. Absolutely. There will be jobs that are done in a very different way and are being done in a very different way already as a result of AI. And it's just about having an understanding of what AI can do well and what still needs human interaction. AI will never be creative.
Good.
AI won't take your job, Shay, so don't worry about that.
All comes down to me. No, I'm teasing. But let's delve into, shall we, your stories, of which one of the first one was, which I was very intrigued by, from The Guardian, how to tell if an image is AI generated or deep fake. I was very struck by this one.
Well, I think lots of people have seen lots of different images. Lots of people have seen the Pope in a puffer jacket. Lots of people have seen the woman on her 122nd birthday baking a birthday cake. Again, false images. And this is the first time, I'm not suggesting that this was an AI image, that we've spoken since the royal photo came out. So what I thought might be worthwhile doing is, this article does a really good job of illustrating the things to look out for in a visual to show that it's been potentially AI generated. And some of those tips are relatively obvious. So one of them is hands and limbs. So what you may do on an AI generated image is AI may focus on the key parts of the image, but you may notice things that are a little bit silly, like 6 fingers on a hand.
Got you.
You may notice that a bracelet or the cuffs of a shirt don't match, for example.
Yeah.
So it's worth noting at that. the other thing they say to look at is words in AI. So if you see a sign, it might be slightly more blurred because it could be that the sign is taken from a different image to populate that AI image. And then the final two that they mention is look at hair, because
that's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
It's a really tough one. But if you magnify any image that you see and you see that you can't see the individual strands of hair, it might be that that's been created by a machine.
See, I knew about the hands one, but I hadn't even thought about the hair, actually.
No, it's a tough one, isn't it? And it's tough to know. And the final point in this article from The Guardian, which I thought was a really good one, was if you don't trust the image you're seeing, if you're looking for these signs of AI, ask yourself why you're looking for those signs. So if it, again, going back to what I was saying before, us as users now have to be guardians of our own online experience. And it's up to us to find images from trusted sources and trusted media owners. And if we're looking for those signs, chances are there's something not right about the image that we're looking at.
Sure.
And I would urge everybody to be skeptical of what they see, because some stuff can be artificially produced.
It's listen, I think that's a real important point that you make, actually, that we just kind of need to be a little bit more savvy about things, actually, is the way I would put it. By the way, big shout out to the team. Shay, Team Rocket is listening to James in the office today. Huge shout out. We love listening to the show. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, there we are. That's the team at work.
And now can I tell you to get back to work, please,
yes,
team?
Of course.
No, I'm teasing. Let's delve into the next one. We were talking about Trump earlier on in the week.
Yes.
Of course, as he's facing trials at the moment for the in New York, but for the whole situation around Stormy Daniels. But this isn't what you wanted to reference, is it? Because this is technology news.
Yes, that's right. I thought it might be worthwhile with Trump in the headlines to look at what's going on with Trump's social media presence.
Okay.
So lots of people may or may not know what Trump media has created, and they created Truth Social.
I've heard of this.
So when Donald Trump was banned from Twitter, he flounced off and he created his own social media network called Truth Social.
Yes.
Now, it's just like Twitter. In my research for this today, I actually signed up for my own Truth Social account.
Did you?
How
did you feel?
I managed to get James Erskine. Whether I post anything or ever go on it again, I'm not sure. But at least I had a look around and saw how it works.
Right.
And it's exactly the same as X, formerly Twitter.
Right.
And one of the things that was quite interesting was it floated on the stock market in America relatively recently, 2 weeks ago. And on paper, it was worth billions of pounds.
Okay.
It was going to make Donald Trump rich, richer than he'd ever been before. But a couple of things have happened since then. Okay. One, the stock market valuation of Trump Social has come down. Trump Media, Truth Social, has come down quite considerably. And every time it's refreshing, it's losing value. And the other thing that put it in the news recently, and this was from a piece in the FT, was they're now going to experiment with streaming, so live video content on Truth Social. Now, this meant a number of different things to me, because any company doing live streaming that isn't YouTube, who are pretty much first to market, is going to have trouble getting a big audience. Twitter have tried it, or X have tried it, and they've struggled to get audiences. Having established what Truth Social is, how many people are there? And the answer is not very many. It's still the only place you can see Donald Trump's social media content.
Okay.
But that's about its only offering in terms of what's on Truth Social. And the other thing is, I'm really interested in what the ambitions are for Donald Trump's media career, because I read a book about his presidential run by Michael Wolff not long ago, and it more or less implied that he never wanted to be president in the first place. All he wanted to do was set up a media empire on the back of that presidential run.
Interesting.
He almost became president by mistake, is what this book implied.
Okay.
So it's interesting to look at his media career as the valuation in Trump media is declining.
I mean, I know we oftentimes talk about about The Apprentice, don't we?
Yes.
But we do seem to forget that The Apprentice originally was affiliated in America with Donald Trump.
Completely.
I know here we'll always focus, and rightly so, on Lord Sugar. But at the end of the day, that is where he built his real TV standing, media persona as well.
He's the first reality TV president, and
interesting.
And as a result, media is really important to him, and it's really important what he's doing in social media. So it's very interesting to look at.
Stay with me, James. Going to continue having a chat with James. We're going to be talking about Taylor Swift for all you Swifties straight after the Jam.